about Obama and his presidency, good and bad. And I know you wrote a book, "Are We Better Off? Race, Obama, and Public Policy." And I would imagine that you're not a critic of Obama. I don't think you are. I've never seen you as an extreme critic, like I'm going to go after him. But you have been objective in your analysis, which seemed to cause you a lot of problems. What would you say that people can say, that was good or bad for Black people in particular about the Obama presidency? Because a lot of the perception amongst a lot of Black people here is that, the neighborhood is still the same. You still have 45% Black unemployment rate in Southside Chicago where Obama lived. And I would just say if he just tweeted about it a few times, that right there might drive people to action if he even acknowledged it. It almost seems that Trump has this, part of his Trump card, if you will, pun intended, is that he can tweet about the things that Obama never touched, and basically say, look, at least I'm talking about it. At least I'm talking about Black people. Your own Black president didn't seem to really even want to talk about your issues at all, right? I don't know.
That was a tragedy of Obama. I mean, the good news about Obama is that he was, let's pull it back. Barack Obama never claimed to be a progressive, to be left of center. He was always pretty much a Democratic centrist. His views were not very different from Hillary. She probably was to the left of him. She probably would have done more for Black people than he did. He was always caught up in, I'm not a Black president, I'm the nation's president. I remember I interviewed him in 2004. I was working with Willie Gary's television station at the time. At the convention, I was lucky enough to snag him. We know people in common, Charles Ogletree, others. So we're having a very, very lovely conversation until I ask him about reparations. At which point, my man jumps up off the chair and says, turn that camera off. He has a total.
Oh, wait, don't skim over that story. Are y'all as shocked as I am? So tell us more. So you talked to President Obama.
So I was able to get, he was senator then.
Senator Obama, okay.
Well, so I was able to get, in fact, he was a state senator then. He hadn't even run for Senate. Remember, he was a keynote speaker at the 2004 Democratic Convention, one of the speakers. So I was working for Willie Gary, and I was charged with, gathering stories and, wearing my journalist hat. I begged, borrowed, and everything else to get him. Everybody, he was a hot ticket. Ogletree helped. A bunch of people called. Rock, you got to talk to Malveaux. So there we had it. We're in my suite. You'll never forget it. Cora Berry was sitting in the other side of the room. She's like, I'm not getting in your interview, but she did jump in for a couple of pictures. But anyway, we're having a great conversation, really great conversation. His little handler had said, I only had 15 minutes, but we did, how Black people are. We do the getting to know you, who we know in common. It turned out we were there for like 30, 40 minutes until I asked about reparations. When I asked about reparations, he totally went off. Like he jumped off the chair. He said, turn off the microphone. We're not recording this. And, he did not even want to be in the same sentence, in the same room with reparations. So he's like, nope, to the nope, to the nope. Next thing you know, the little handler is gathering up their stuff. And I'm like, okay, dude, can we at least close the interview out? I could say bye so we can edit this part out and we could say bye and it's civil. So we did. And, you should never have asked me about that. But see, since he was a student of Ogletree's and Tree was in all of the reparation struggle, I figured he would be down with it. At least have a conversation. He could have said, I don't agree with it, but he didn't want